Hey folks, Lee Smith, Spouses Buying Houses. Hey, it is a bright and early Saturday morning. I've still got in-laws in town, so keep it a little quiet. Get this show out of the way today. We're a little early today, so we got about 7 minutes until we go live. Um, if you've got questions or anything, or if you're watching this as a replay, then just go forward 7 minutes. Um, see what happened this week. Christmas happened. Good Christmas. Um, I'm trying to hook up 4 monitors to this bad boy so I can see what's going on, see chats and stuff like that. Keep a couple screens going. Worked on a couple videos. House in a area that is kind of going through gentrification, and but it's still very speculative. So I did a video for that for a client. He and I went over it, and I sent it to him to see if it's okay if I release it. I get a little blunt sometimes, so hopefully I didn't offend him in that video. But a very highly speculative area. I can't remember if I talked about this last week or not. Sometimes what we get into is some of these areas. What usually happens is it's a C or a D area, and somebody goes in and buys a lot, and then they build some new modern house, really nice, and then somehow, some way, they get it appraised for $200,000 or $300,000, and then it sells, and everything else around the house is selling for $30,000, $40,000, maybe $50,000, but that's about it. And then all of a sudden, this house sells for 200 or 300. Now it's a brand new house, but it's just weird. And so anyway, so then what happens is somebody else comes into the area, or maybe the same builder builds another one on a vacant lot, and then it goes to somebody goes in and rehabs an older house and does a really really good job rehabbing it. So let's say the new houses were selling for 200 to 300,000. So let's say that this older house sells for 150 to $200,000. Again, nothing in this neighborhood is selling for more than like 50, maybe $60,000 in like the past 2, 3, 5, 10, 15 years. And all of a sudden, these houses are just selling like crazy. I don't know what banks are appraising these that high, or what appraisers are appraising these that high, but somehow it's getting through, right? And so anyway, so then all of a sudden, this house, 1900s house, gets rehabbed, redone, and it's sells for 150, 200,000. So you still got a lot of properties that are selling around it for 20, 30, $40,000, but it's real hit or miss. To me, it's super duper speculative. People have risk tolerances, and a lot of people think that I have a high risk tolerance. I think I have a high risk tolerance, but sometimes some people just shoot the moon, right? Never works for me when I shoot the moon, so I am real hesitant to do it. And then again, I'm getting older, so I'm getting a lot more wise. But I don't think it's that wise. I think it's my risk tolerances are coming down. Now, I'm not at bonds where I'm going to take a 2% return or less than 2% return, but I still want honest, easy returns. And so anyway, I went through, ran the numbers on this guy's house. It's way too speculative for me. Because he wanted me to partner up on it with him. And so anyway, so long story short, which I never have a long story that goes short, it just goes longer. But I did a video for him. I also did a video. There's a guy who runs a Facebook group, Ernesto, Indianapolis out-of-state investors. Anyways, he and I got on the phone one night. He had a bad appraisal come through, and so he wanted to appeal it. So we did a video on appealing the appraisal on his property. So I'm waiting for Ernesto to review that and see if that's okay. I have an appraiser buddy of mine, and I talked to him, and I think I'm going to get him to come on here, and we're going to do a talk about how to appeal appraisals. He has a school, or he teaches for a school on real estate. Obviously he's a licensed appraiser. He works for several banks. A very savvy guy. So I'm hoping to get him on here in the upcoming weeks. So let me know what you guys are interested in seeing. I don't think there's anybody in chat right now, and that's fine. We're going to get started in about 2 minutes, so if you want to skip forward to that, you can. Let's see what else happens. My son likes to play Monopoly. My 8-year-old loves to play Monopoly. But I just don't want to play Monopoly. I know a lot of people are that way. They don't want to play it because it takes too long or whatever. But I deal with real estate day in and day out. And so the last thing I want to do is deal with real estate in a game. But I do have to laugh because last night I was thinking about, pondering about why it is that I don't really like to play Monopoly. And it got me thinking that I need to run the numbers on which properties are really profitable, right? So, what do you spend, like $60 for like Mediterranean, and you get a $2 return? So, what is that, like a 3% return or something like that? I don't even think it's that much, is it? Let's see what we got here. Yeah, 3% return, a little over a 3% return. What is Boardwalk? Should we look at that up? Let's see. We got a minute, right? Let's do that. Let's look this up here. Hold on. I wonder if anybody's ever done this. Rent is $50. What does it cost to buy it, though? $400 to buy it, right? So, so we got 50 divided by 400. So that's about a 12% return. And what's Baltic? So it is $60. Oh, you get $4. 4 divided by 60. So it's about a 6%, about 7% return. Oh, crazy how the mind works. All right. So it's 9:31, so I'm actually a minute late. All right. So let's, today we're going to run some numbers on couple of houses. This one here, this one should be pretty easy. Put my headset on. This one should be a pretty easy morning, Frank. This one should be a pretty easy, I'm being told this one's going to be an easy review, but yet it's 3 videos, and so that leaves me to think that we may be in for a longer run. So let's get into this. So this one here is now this one's kind of interesting. This is a 2-bedroom house, but the square footage, it's 2 bedrooms, 2 full baths, but the square footage is 1,456 square feet. Now 1,000 of that is supposedly livable. That's the main floor. 397 is in the basement, so I'm going to assume that's unfinished. So about 1,000 square feet for a 2-bedroom. That's a big 2-bedroom. That should be a 3-bedroom. And it's got 2 full baths. Looking here to see what it's bought and sold for. Man, back in 2005, a lender gave $135,000 for this house, or loaned $135,000 for this house. Anyways, let's pull up the number. Let's watch some videos. Come on, Big Daddy. Well, it seemed to be having some technical difficulties this morning. Why is it there? It goes. So, oh, I know this house. It has been redone. So hopefully it should be in pretty good, decent shape. Okay, yeah, I've been at this house. We took over this property, had tenants in it, and we still don't know what the real scoop is, but it sounds like the one tenant was, according to her, she was renting rooms out to battered women. But I have a feeling it was more of an Airbnb situation. She was just renting to anyone who would come in. So, anyways, let's see what we got.
Thursday, October 3rd. It's a treacherous hole.
Is this thing working, or are we out of sync in here? Looks like it's working. Are you working, Frank? Buddy, you still there? I'm going to continue running just in case you are there. Just let me know.
On the ground.
So we got newer windows, so that's good. Okay, good. Got an error message on YouTube
Okay.
that said we were having issues.
As well.
Soffits look decent. Gutters look good. Usually down low you'll see a bunch of where the siding's been getting beat up pretty bad, and that's usually from somebody with a weed whacker getting too close to the siding. This one doesn't look too bad, but there was a couple spots over here to the far left that good for him showing up close-up shots. Some free drywall if anybody needs it. Camera folks, he just said hole in ground. I know, right? Yeah, I did see that. I don't know if we need to do anything. It's going a lot slower now. Maybe that's why we got 3 videos here. Looks like it's got a newer furnace, like a 96+%. Now that's something interesting to talk about. Some of these houses, they have the flues that go up through the roof start to deteriorate and get in really bad shape when or they just close or fall apart. So a lot of times it's cheaper to run a gas furnace, like a 96% efficient furnace that will run off the side. So we're gonna hook up the gutters.
It's the neighbor's yard.
Is that thing like a cooler or something over there on the ground?
The roof seems pretty well kept, along with the rest of the house.
How's the feed coming through? I keep getting error messages on YouTube that it's not receiving enough video. That one looks decent. Okay.
Goes right through the soffit.
What he's talking about there. Okay, good. Yeah, a little loud, I think. See a little, maybe I'll have to turn him down a little bit. Yeah, I figured. Thanks, MJ. Ooh, there's a cracked window right there. Let's go back and see if we see it. Looks like cracked to me. What the heck are those? Are those bullet holes? BB holes, maybe?
Crack in the upper window. Ceiling is fine. This one's good. Gutters could be cleaned on this side.
Alright, let's head in.
Let me open some windows real quick.
Yeah, we need some light, brother. Can't tell if those carpets are... Looks like they're in pretty decent shape. I'm on Cole. Tell me what I'm missing. Looks like that register vent's got issues over there. No, maybe not. A little bit of minor touch up. Exit. That's why I wonder if it was an Airbnb. Sometimes you get these houses and you just don't know what's going on. We actually had one last week. Yeah, I think I told you guys that story last week, where the guy rented it for his son. Yeah, see, there was a lockbox there. That's not our lockbox. Looks like that register vent's okay. I was thinking that this register vent here was having some issues. Sometimes people. So we had a guy last week who.
The living room, 253 square feet. Okay, to the hallway, to the rest of the house.
We had a guy last week who rented the house, rented a studio apartment from us, and he, when he initially got approved, this is minor touch-ups. But the problem with, I'm going to kind of interrupt my story here. The problem with like these walls here, we don't know the color of these walls. So we got minor touch-ups that we need to do. Now we could try and take a sample. We could take the sample over to like Lowe's or whoever and have them, grab the color. The problem is it's probably going to be a little off. And then also add into the fact
little
that
living area is about 170 square feet.
we don't know the color, we don't know the sheen.
Bathroom.
Typically, if it's
Light.
a flats are usually a little bit easier to feather in, touch-ups. But if you don't know the color, you could be a little off, and then all of a sudden you can see where you did your touch-up on your wall. You may have like a 6-inch space on the wall where you could see the touch-up. Semi-gloss is really tough to do feathering out because it always shows, the sheen always shows where you touched it up. So what do you do in those situations when you don't have the color, you don't know the sheen? Eggshell is a good sheen because it allows you to feather it out a little bit, just kind of like flat, but it also helps you to hide a little bit. But and it's washable, so eggshell is a good choice for color on paint because it's washable and it is easier to touch up. But again, you got to know your colors. So what will end up happening here is we may try and get the sample done, and then we may try a spot or two and see how it feathers out. But again, it's probably going to show.
Pretty good.
So then what you end up doing is you end up painting the whole wall or room. Well, he's having camera problems today. So you end up painting the whole wall or room just to do it. Now, sometimes you get lucky and you don't have to trim in again, but a lot of times you just basically you end up painting the whole wall or room just to get to a color you know what it is.
Toilets in there, good.
I just don't have a clue what it's going to cost us or how easy or hard it's going to be to do touch-up paint in this house. Maybe we'll get lucky and there'll be some leftover paint in there, but I doubt it. Let's see, like here, there's
touch-ups,
little spots on the walls that are going to have to be sanded and then done. So this could be an easy touch-up or it could be a hard one. So these are always tough. I mean, if I budget for, he already measured this room. If I budget for a total interior repaint,
okay, first room,
and then hopefully we can get away with just doing touch-ups. But see here, I don't think those are shadows on the wall. You can see where there's been some touch-ups done already before in the past. Well, he's struggling on this video. Yeah, see here? I don't know if those are shadows or not. I don't think they are because the windows and such are not. I think these are touch-ups on the wall. Yeah, they are. They're touch-ups because there's nothing there that would create that shadow. So like this room may be a repaint. All right, let's go to video 2. Video 2.
good.
I like the attention to detail more, but I think he's doing too much detail. A lot of times we run into these houses and we don't have power, so supposed to bring a better flashlight to do the videos with.
A lot of these doors have their own little locks.
That door sounds like it needs to be trimmed.
The door's having some trouble, but it will shut. To the kitchen.
This house is interesting. We had a call out for, they said there was a leak in the laundry room. And when we came out, the majority of the leak was coming from their washing machine. But we did end up finding a leaky pipe up in the attic that was just dripping slowly. So we ended up having to open up a wall to fix it.
I don't have these open, but they're good.
Okay. Hard to see in a dark room. One of the things that we have
Kitchen,
Cole doing nowadays is we have him
square feet.
measuring the rooms on these houses. So when we do have to replace the flooring at some point in time, then we will
Good, cabinets are good.
have the measurement so we know exactly what we're dealing with flooring wise. Oh, now we're upside down.
Come on, camera.
So I've
Okay,
counted.
another room from the
This is
kitchen.
the second bedroom, and I know there's at least one more upstairs. So this, even though it's advertised as 2-bedroom, it's actually more than that. And actually, this house is, they converted the attic, so that's more square footage wise, which our original.
Small touch-ups.
Yeah, so there's 800 square feet up above too. So there's 1,059 on the main floor,
Let's come back through
There's a
here.
400
with my
square foot
measuring
basement.
tool.
and there's a 800 square feet on the upstairs.
Closet
This is
looks
like
good. Secure. This door doesn't shut. Could be because of this little nail
Nail.
right here. It won't shut all the way. It's also another doorknob. Through the kitchen to the little back room. Also needs locks. Different locks.
Deadbolt. So this is a little patio area. I don't know, it's not patio, but you know what I mean, another little room. I don't know if you use it for. It's narrow, about 8 feet wide, I want to say. Not a
The
utility
old
room.
Tenants had this board propped up right there. The little slots.
Yeah, so they had a board across here. So some parts of me thought that this was a, they were renting rooms out to battered women, but some parts of me thinks it was Airbnb towards the end. And then the attic, or the basement. The dingy basement.
Basement. Small touch-ups.
He's not hitting the flooring. He's not telling me what the scoop is on the flooring. Paint chipping, you gotta like that. Don't go into the basement. Don't go into the
Place is
dark.
definitely creepy. Has some lights.
So some of the plumbing's been replaced. You can see there's PEX plumbing in here. Some of the electrical's just hanging.
Crawl space.
But the laundry room's on the main floor, so there really shouldn't be a reason why anybody's coming down here,
Furnace.
except other maybe they swap out furnace
There's a water
filters.
heater.
See how the connections up there on that box on top are just wires, bare wires. Should be in a box or under the cover plate. Man, I wish the video was better on this one. Needs a better flashlight. Probably working good for him. So we're deaf people right now. We're listening. We're not deaf. We're blind. Nice. No switch cover. Okay, good. We're coming out of the basement again.
Doesn't close.
Yeah, I wrote down several doors need to be repaired.
Back through. Kitchen.
Didn't do the laundry room.
Living space.
So off the kitchen was a laundry room.
Stairs.
I've been in this house. We had some issues, like I said earlier. So I've been in this house. So there was a laundry room in there.
Light switch.
It's about
Carpet's been pretty well kept.
a 6x8 room for that laundry room. Oh, see register vent right there? Somebody tried to put a wall register vent
So I step
on the floor.
through the little. Yeah. Touch-ups. Some sticky parts on the walls.
There's like a landing room here. Probably be turned into a kids play area. There's a room there. We should probably put a door on this room here.
So
And that way you could actually call it a bedroom per se. I mean, you could leave it as is though too. Because people will still turn it into a
crack in the
bedroom.
window.
Ah, third window, man. Pretty sure this was an eviction. So this was in pretty good shape for being an eviction. I mean, really good shape for being an eviction. So in Indiana, to be considered a bedroom, it needs to have 2 points of egress. That can be either a window and a door, and it needs to have a closet. So this room could be considered a bedroom because it's got a room here, and then 2 points of egress, the window, and then a doorway out. Really nice if there was a can of paint somewhere. I can figure out what the color is on these walls. Hopefully he shuts that window.
This room's got some wires ran up through here.
So those will need to be secured. They really should be running conduit. What is that? I'm trying to see.
Pretty good.
We're gonna get a better view of that wire. Nope.
Here.
Does that look like it's missing its insulation?
It's pretty good. Bathroom. It's a little shaky. Tub. Shower.
So overall, this one should be pretty quick to do. It's in pretty good shape overall. A lot of times you got to watch these tub spouts because it can hide. Like you need to bang on it right above the tub spout, the wall right above the tub spout, because you want to see if it's loose behind or not. You know what I mean? If the drywall, if water's getting behind, then the drywall will start to deteriorate behind. So you can just tap above the faucet, maybe above the shower handle itself too, and you're going to check to see if everything is tight back there.
Like that door.
Lord, another 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna grab my measuring tool real quick.
Alright, so that's pretty much us. So I think he's just getting a measuring tool. Unless he's going to do that laundry room. Is he going to do the laundry room?
Okay. The kitchen, the living room, and the living area. Ultimately.
Let's see if he's... Oh, he is in the laundry room. Good, good, good.
Laundry room. I don't think I've covered this. Sorry.
That's smaller than I thought it was originally, so it's probably like 5 feet by like... eight.
Some old floor. Yeah. Laundry room. It's, about 36 square feet.
That's small. Bathroom is usually about 30. All right, so that's us. So let's run some numbers here. Let me pull up my notes. Hold on. I think the carpets are savable, but we'll obviously have to go in. He forgot to talk about that on the video, and I'll probably have him go back out and take a look at it. All right, so supposedly there's a hole in the front yard. I can't imagine that it's going to take more than, I don't know, $50 to fill it, if we even fill it. Caulk on the windows. I don't think we're going to need to, but we might need a little bit, so let's put in like $150 to caulk the windows. Actually, there's 2 floors, so we're going to go up. So let's do like $250 just to make sure the windows are nice and caulked. And again, that might be an expense that we don't need to incur. Repair, replace gutters as needed. Repair, replace / clean gutters as needed. I don't think there's going to be much here. I think it's probably just going to be a cleaning fee for cleaning out the gutters because there was a couple spots that were over full. Assess 3 cracked windows. Okay, so there was at least 3 windows that were cracked. These are all double pane windows, so they cost about... probably about 100 to 125 a piece by the time you figure labor and materials. So let's say we got 3 of them, so let's just put in like $375. Minor touch-ups throughout. I'm going to put in like $500, and it may be less than that, and it may be more. If we can't match up at all, then we might be in a world of hurt on that. I'm going to put in trim doors fit as needed. I'm going to put like $150 in for that. There was a couple register vents that had some issues, so I don't know. I'm just going to leave those right now. We'll include those in miscellaneous. So there's the last 2 are miscellaneous to get rent ready, and then final clean. Install doors on 2 rooms upstairs. So there's 2 rooms upstairs, so do we cover those rooms or do we leave them as is? So I would say we're going to install doors on those 2 rooms. That way we definitely have 2 bedrooms. It's more appealing than, 2 open, walkways or whatever. So let's say there's $400 there. That includes doors and labor and trim. The upstairs bedroom, I think that'll be fine. We just need to secure those in place. Maybe run some conduit, but I doubt we're even going to go that far. So we'll just secure it. And as long as that one wire isn't in bad shape, it shouldn't even be. I mean, I'll just include that in miscellaneous. Secure the toilet upstairs. I'm going to have them check, since it's loose, the toilet upstairs is loose. I'm going to have them check subfloor to make sure it's good. Assess flooring throughout. He made a statement about the bathroom floors being old, so I'm going to assume that maybe those might need to be replaced, but again, we'll assess it. It was 36 square feet at about $3 a square foot, so 40, so $120. I'm going to leave it blank for right now. Miscellaneous to get rent ready, I'm going to say it's probably $250 to get rent ready, and then final clean is usually $250. Again, we've got a guy who does them. Seems like that's expensive, but he's a good guy, does a real good job, and he may even go out and shampoo the carpets. So let's actually bump this up to like $375. So he'll shampoo the carpets, clean the carpets, and then he'll do a final clean on the whole house. So it's a little expensive, but he's real quick to get them done. He does a really, really good job, and he never complains. So that's nice. Now, one thing else I want to start noticing. Oh, I must have hit caps lock at some point in time. There's no appliances in this house, so either the tenant stole them or they owned them. I don't know. When we assumed this property, it didn't say on the lease whether or not it had them. So we're just kind of deal with it. So, all right, so where are we at? Where's my calculator? So we're at like 50, 250, 90, ooh, not 980, 50, 250, 90, 375, 500, 150, 400. Oh, I was going to include some stuff. I'm going to bump this one up to like 500 because we had some other stuff in there. It's probably not going to be that much, but I just want to overinflate and then we come in early or easier. So 2690, that's not bad. That's actually a decent turn, especially for an eviction. All right, so let's run the numbers on this. So this is a 4-bedroom basically after we put in those 2 whatever doors upstairs. Those are smaller rooms though. But we should be able to get like $850 out of this one. So let's run some numbers here. Hold on a second. Let me pull this over here. Excuse me. So let's say we rent it for $800, right? We're going to put in our typical 8% for vacancy rate. We're going to put in, actually we've managed it for, I don't know, 6 or 9 months. So I'm still going to, if you were buying this house, I would tell you to run 10% for the first year. But I think it's going to be a lot cheaper than that. I think probably 5 or 6%. Accounting and legal, I usually put in like 2%. Just to make our numbers even. So about 30% of our gross rents goes towards operating costs. Taxes on this property are $1,019. Property insurance is probably like $550. So cash flow on this property is like $429.25 a month. So that's pretty doggone good. Now I don't know. I show she bought it for $43,750. We're going to put $3,000 into it. Well, that's actually before my 20%. So what are we at? Times 1.2, 32.50. So let's say it's 32.50. Okay. So our total basis is $47,000. Assessed land value. I'm gonna give you this stuff in here. Hold on. This is why we're running the numbers so we can see taxes and all that sort of stuff, depreciation. So $429.25 is our net operating income per month. $51.51 per year is what gross is, or I'm sorry, net operating income. Now, so that puts us at about 11% cap rate. That's not bad. That's pretty doggone good, right? So, all right, so let's put in. Let's say she burned it, right? She's gonna refinance it, get her money back out of it. So, didn't put this in. So it's actually no bank's going to refinance on these houses at $43,750. So I mean, her payment, if she just got her money back out of this house, well, she wouldn't even get her money back out of it. Let's see what we got here. Hold on. Is that going to make our basis 47,000? Yeah, 310.18. So if she got basically her money back, so we all know it's going to have to appraise higher than this 43,750. So she appraises it higher. So let's say it brings her down to where she's just getting her money back out of it. It's 20 years, 5% interest. She'll cash flow $119.07 per month. Follow me on that? So that's after her debt service. Mortgage payment comes out, it's $119.07. So that's not bad. Not bad at all. And if we put in, 27.5, let's say she's a 25% tax bracket, right? So her possible annual tax savings is $386.36. So that means that she's bringing home about $151.27 a month on this one if she got a loan on it. If she doesn't have a loan on it, she's bringing that home $461.45 a month. So cashed out, she's $461.45 a month. Now what were we at? Cash on cash return, infinite, obviously, because she got her money back out of it. All right, so any questions on that one? You guys are quiet today. Got 4 of you listening though. All right, so we're doing another one. Let's do another one. All right, let's see. What do we want to do? Want to do a trashed out one? I know you do. You guys like to see the trash. I like to see the trash. Okay, so this house is a triplex. So there's one unit here in the front. Actually, we'll see when we walk in. There's one room. Then we go upstairs to the main floor. There's one unit in the back, and it's basically a shotgun style. So there's basically one room, then a living room, and then a bedroom. So there's 3 rooms in the back unit. And then there's one next door, and it's basically like 4 rooms going all the way back. So it's a shotgun as well. So, all right. So this one here is a triplex. Most of these 1 bedrooms go for we get $500 a month for them. Because they are, we supply the water. Now the other side is basically a 2 bedroom. It's 4 rooms. So you got a living room and then 2 bedrooms and then the kitchen. It should be, I mean, you know, it's a rather large kitchen, so they can do an eat-in in there. So anyway, so that side rents for about $550 a month. So we'll run the numbers later, but we'll see what's going on. Let's see if anybody's got any questions. Trash. That's right, Frank. We like trash.
Video on December 5th.
Not really. We don't like paying for the trashed out houses. But
the siding right here could be cleaned off. There's like chalk marks on it. This door could be painted.
I'm getting more and more.
There's no screen door. You could easily tell there used to be a screen door. Oh, looks like it's gonna need some new weather stripping on the top and the bottom. Probably not the side.
This used to be our old color on the walls. We've had this property for a while.
These walls look pretty good. It's gonna need to be touched up though. Let's get this stuff out of here. Clean up the baseboards. Clean up the radiators.
So here's something interesting. So this is, we put in electric heat. So, okay. In Indiana, what you got to deal with is you got to deal with a lot of houses, like multifamily houses, where they had shared utilities. So shared water, where the owner pays the water, shared heat, where the owner pays the heat. And so anyway, so when we find a house like this, the first thing that we like to do is we go in and we install extra electric meters and we put in baseboard heat, which you're seeing right down here. And then this gets the heat bill off of the owner. And the main reason is because if you pay heat for tenants, they crank the heat up in the wintertime and then open a window to cool back down. So I've seen some crazy, stupid high heat bills on, apartment buildings and stuff like that, where they were just cranking the heat up and we just didn't have control over it. So this is what we've gone to nowadays. We did have one house that had a boiler, and oh my gosh, that was just crazy. You're probably used to the boilers, Frank. You should come out here. You can make a killing working on boilers.
Base heater right here. Probably want to paint this windowsill or something. It's like chipping away right here.
Somebody's dog was chewing on
it. On this bottom step.
Somebody's dog was chewing on it.
You could paint the handrail maybe. The whole rail. Clean up these steps. Get some of the tread on them. Probably clean it. We'll just clean it.
So this is something else that we do on some of these houses. We'll paint the stairs, like on the lower income rentals and stuff like that. They just get abused so badly that you don't want to put in like carpet runners, because they just get trashed out, like one or two people. So we'll go through and we'll paint the stairs, and then we'll put on these rubber stair treads. They're, I don't know, $2 or $3 a piece, but they last. Yeah, not out here, man. Boilers out here, they're so rare that there's hardly any HVAC companies that deal with them, and then we end up paying out the wazoo to get somebody to work on them.
Probably gonna need a paint job though, coming up and stuff.
So this has been through, this unit's been through about 6 or 7 tenants since the last time we really did a heavy repaint on like the stairs and stuff.
Probably paint this, all of this white trim and stuff.
This was also an eviction.
Rail.
So this is pretty typical for a.
Clean the top.
It's a little bit more hardcore than a decent eviction. Obviously, we just saw a really good eviction on the last one, but this one here. We get a ton of free beds. We get a ton of free kids' toys.
Could be painted. Looks like there's some cracking on the walls and right here. Show you real quick.
Yeah, a lot of these older houses. Especially in an attic scenario, get high humidity, especially in the summertime.
Pretty secure.
When that door is closed.
Yeah. I want to paint this door.
Looking like we probably just need to do a repaint throughout. There's so much of the white that needs to be done.
Shut either. There's some cracking down here.
It's dog.
And it's cracking right here, alongside this hinge right here. This door might need to be replaced. Something more modern. Right here we have upstairs with all the insulation. Everything looks holding up fine.
Free bed.
Clean up the baseboards.
I got a place for you to stay, Frank. You ever come out?
Pick up the trash.
Oh, another free bed.
Paint this. all this.
Nothing like letting your kids rule the roost.
Clean some beds right here.
Here, honey, have a
Writing on the
marker. Go
walls.
play.
Clean up this trim along this window. Clean it up a little bit. It looks good. This one's gonna need a screen. This one's got one on the right side. Right here is some flaws in the walls and stuff right here.
Wow. Looks like one kid threw another kid into the wall.
The tile doesn't look too bad. Got some cracking and stuff under this light. This light should get a replacement. There's a bag over this window right here. I can't say for sure why. It's not really getting airflow to the inside from this window, and it seems pretty good to me.
Why is
It
it
opens
moving?
and shuts. This hinge right here is hanging off.
Oh, is it outside? The
Cabinets
plastic
are
was
gonna
outside?
need
That's
to be
weird.
painted. Clean this up. I can't. Looks like there's a big old gash right here in our countertop. You see, got some gashes and stuff in it. Cleaned up.
So,
all of the,
I'm thinking we need to replace this countertop because it's got this gash here. It's got some other little minor issues. Now, it's only like a 4-foot countertop, right? But we got to cut holes in it and stuff like that. The countertop itself is probably only 30 to 50 bucks. And so anyway, so it's just, but you got to cut the hole in it. You got to reinstall everything, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, it's just kind of an expense.
The drawers and cabinets that open good. They all do need paint though. We have our stove, a cabinet right here.
Free food. Anybody want some?
Paint these walls probably.
Yeah.
Breaker.
We're just going to have to repaint throughout.
Vent. Fridge. This part of the ceiling right here has got like marks. You might want to paint this or do something with this tile. I'm not too familiar with this type of tile.
How do you get a mark on the
Markings and
ceiling
stuff on
in the bathroom?
ceilings.
Yeah, that bathroom's holding up pretty well. Got a crack pipe.
There's our window.
Anybody want to see the crack pipe? I don't know if it's cracked or not. I don't think so. I don't know what crack pipes look like. What is that thing? I don't think so. I don't know what it is though. Toothpaste. Who wants toothpaste? I got some toothpaste for you, Frank.
There's our window.
We put this tub in forever and a day ago.
Probably recock it. Got some.
Gap. Yeah, this was
Some space right here. Might want to close this off.
yeah, we had that closed off for a while. Let me get the second video out. Hold on.
We got some bugs right.
So this is kind of an odd situation. Obviously, this is a converted attic space. Then there was some stuff that they had to build around, I guess, originally. So we ended up having to work with what we had to get this bathroom back in. And so anyway, so there's a raise here of about 2 or 3 inches, enough to where vinyl will hide it. But again, we seem to have this recurring problem. Maybe we need to put in a more hardcore kick plate. But I don't know how you'd secure a more hardcore kick plate because there's nothing to secure it to. You got the 2 edges, and that's about it. Anyways.
Right here. I'm gonna paint this door.
Breakers are kicked on that. we had originally here's the old cast irons that we abandoned, and then we ran new PEX and lines into the wall. This house was old enough that the galvanized lines coming from the street had corroded out and plugged themselves up, so we were having issues. We put in like a $1,000 tankless water heater because there's only one water heater for this entire house. And we put in a $1,000 tankless water heater, and then within a year, the water lines had corroded so bad, and it just ruined that water heater.
This door is the water heater.
So we ended up putting back in a normal tank water heater. And actually, I think we just had to replace this again because it just blew up. But I think we got it under warranty.
We got some holage right here in this tile.
And again, this panel's been kicked in a little bit, so we'll have to fix that.
Use some new lights. And that about wraps it up for the interior. 1444A Richland.
You guys weren't supposed to hear that. I'm just slow on the kick. Anyways, let's see what we got here. Now this is some of our older flooring. We used to use Allure. He didn't say anything about the flooring. I got to remind him he's got to do more on the flooring. But this is a Allure, which was a floating flooring, and we were using it for a while. But the problem was that it had a tendency to start to separate. And so anyway, so we went to the new solution that we've got, which is an LVP product. All right, so let's run some numbers on this one here. All right, so weather stripping on front door. I'm going to include that under miscellaneous. Hold on. Weather stripping on the front door, we'll call that miscellaneous. Replace blinds as needed. I mean, pretty much all the blinds. For a while, we went through a phase where we weren't putting blinds into properties. And I'm still on the fence about this. But we do get a lot of comments from people who go to look at houses, and then they'll say, oh, there's no blinds up. Are you going to put blinds up before I move in? So, you know, blinds used to be $3 a piece. Nowadays, they're like 8 to 10. And so, you know, you can have, like this house has probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blinds in it. So at $10 a piece, you're $60 there. Plus installation, you probably got 75, $100 into them. I'm going to put it in, but I don't know if we'll do it or not. Repaint throughout. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Interior repaint throughout. So we got that first landing room. We got the big upstairs room. So that's 2. And then we got the kitchen. That's 3. And then we got a bathroom. That's 4. We're going to repaint this entire house. So there's about 4 rooms there. There's some patch and stuff like that. So let's say there's 5 rooms there. So 5 times 150. So we're at what, 750? All right, yep, 750. So not horrible, but now that house has been through 4 or 5 tenants since we last repainted it. So it's about due. That unit has been through 4 or 5 tenants since we've been redid it. So it's about due for the repaint. Replace stair treads as needed. I'm going to put like 150 because they're going to have to paint that too. Repair or replace closet door at top of stairs. I think they can just fix it. So I'm going to put like 50 bucks. I don't even think it'll be that much. It'll probably be like 25. Replace screens as necessary. I think in one of the other work orders we had, we did 14. We did the other unit, the back unit, in another video, and it's actually been done. And I think I had him replace all the screens. So I'll have to check it. But I would say it's probably 150-ish to replace the screens on this upstairs unit, if we haven't already done it. Repair walls above and to the left of the stairs. That's where the one kid pushed the other kid probably through the wall. I've already kind of included that in some of this stuff up here, so I'm not going to put it there. I'm just going to put it on there until we make sure we get it done. And kitchen, there was another spot in the kitchen. Replaced main floor. That glass globe was missing on that light upstairs. Those are pull string lights, so there's no actual switch that controls those. So I'm going to see if we can just replace the glass or globe. So I mean, there's probably 10 bucks there. I mean, you know, whatever. Repair windows is needed because a couple of them had their the hinges were funky. So let's put like 100 bucks. Most of that's going to go to labor. Cabinets need repainted, so I'm going to say 150. Replace the countertops. Now again, this is probably a little bit overkill, but what it is you know, it's only a 4-foot long countertop, which is probably 30 or 40 bucks. But then by the time you get a guy in there who's gonna unhook the old one, discard the old one, he's gonna cut holes in the new one, he's gonna install the plumbing and stuff, it's probably gonna cost you a couple $100 bucks. Access roof for leaks over water heater vent. 200 bucks. I doubt it's going to even be that much. Fix the toe kick panel under the tub. I'm going to include that in miscellaneous. I don't think it's probably just going to be the same thing we did before. We're just going to put that vinyl one back up and glue it to the bottom of the tub and just hope it holds. There's not a real good solution for, I mean, I guess if we put another board in the bottom, we could probably do that. Let's do that. So let's say, I don't know, 50 bucks. That's not even going to be that much. Put a board at the bottom. Lay it on its side 2x4 so we have something to nail the kick panel to, which should be good. Miscellaneous to get ready. So I don't know what we're going to run into here, so I'm going to put in 500 bucks and then final cleans 250. There's no carpets in this house, so we don't have to do carpet cleaning. All right, so where are we at? Let's run some numbers here. What was the other thing I was going to say? What did I put in that other that I was going to start doing more of? Appliances. Yes, this has appliances. Just for our own purposes, our own notes. Now, when we rent a house out and it's got an existing stove and fridge, those are what we call loaners. So we're just loaning those to the tenants. If they, if the stove breaks, fridge breaks, fridge starts leaking, that's pretty normal. We start hearing that. Oh, the fridge is leaking. Can you send somebody out to fix it? No, it's a loaner. You know, either you pay for the repair or you get your own. Or I rent them to people. Now, let me rephrase, or not rephrase it. Let me repeat that and reiterate to you. Spouses buying houses, rent stoves and fridge to tenants. I don't put this on owners. Because owners, there's a big, huge laundry list of reasons why you don't want to have appliances that you're responsible for in a property, and so I could go over those here. Maybe we'll look at that in a minute. Anyway, so total repairs. Let's run our numbers here. $26.35. That's not bad. I spent more. There is a bunch of trash that we gotta get rid of, so I'm gonna put that in there too. I forgot to put that in there. That's probably like 250. So we'll add that up. So it's actually what, 2885. So that's not bad. So all right, so let's run some numbers on this. Let me pull up my sheet. I evidently deleted it. So we got 2 units that rent for 500 piece, so it's 1,000. We got this other one that rents below it, and it's like 550. So we're at what, 1,550 per month. This is a multifam. Multifams have a little bit longer time frame to get them rented. This one we really don't have a lot of repairs on, so I'm actually going to put this at 7%. We know this one pretty well. Accounting and legal, 1%. I'm trying to get these numbers to even out. And 10% for property management. Real estate, school, and taxes. We got to pay the government. We got big brother. Oh, come on. My realist went down, so hold on, I gotta re-pull it up. Taxes on this property are $969 a year. And the insurance on this is probably about $550. Gosh, I don't remember. He bought it like 10 years ago. He was one of my first big clients. I don't know. We're just going to go for cash on, or net operating income. So, I got to put in water, sewer and water. We're going to do, there's 3 units here, about 150. Actually, let's do 180 per month in water he pays. So that means his cash flow on this property is $778.42. We don't know what he paid for it. Oh wait, I can tell you what he paid for it. Hold on. We put money into this house though. So I want to say let's say we got 50,000 into this house. Plus we'll add in we've probably got more than 50 in it. Over time, because we've done a lot of rehab on it, and it's a triplex. But let's put 50 in, and then what did I just say the number was that we're, gosh darn it, I lost my addition. Oh, but I do have it still on that one sheet. Where is it? Come on, Evernote, where are you, brother? About $3,000. So let's put in here, we got about 53,000 into it. 17.62% return cap rate. Even if we bump this thing up to 63,000, which I think is just, we don't have that much money into it. We're still at 14.83% return. How's them apples for you, Frank, baby? Your Brooklyn numbers. So about 14.83% return on that one. And if we add in the depreciation, makes it $826.15 a month. Yeah. Anyways, that's pretty doggone good, right? That's a pretty good return. And occasionally we go through these little bouts where we have, evictions or whatever. I think we had 2 this year, so maybe we should put this number a little higher. $600, so like $50 a month. Let's just bump this one up to $230. I'm just trying to kill this deal, right? So we're still at $728 or $776 a month, still at a 14% cap rate. Yeah, Frank, your return is 2.4%. Damn, that sucks. But you get the higher values on the end. These will never appreciate or depreciate in value. They'll pretty much stay the same. Anyways, so that's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, kids. Click the like, click the subscribe. I am done for the day. I got family stuff to do. If you have questions, comments, whatever, hit me up in the comments. I'm happy to do research on anything anybody wants to know. Or if I glazed over a topic like the assumptions up here and you don't know what that is, let me know and I will explain it to you. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Frank Baby, for showing up. Y'all have a good day.